Boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
God, I love Zag.
Every time I hear it now, I got to tell you, it's like Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah,
I get
it's
the
like
chills. I
Munchausen's.
start drooling.
It's like Munchausen's cat. Is it even in there?
It is Munchausen's cat. It
Yeah.
just gets me fired
It
up.
gets you just totally zagged. That's my verb.
That's got to be a new word.
That's my verb for it. Johnny, I think we talked about this a little bit before we went on air. I really feel like we need to do kind of like a recap.
Well,
just to bring our listeners.
We did get a few tweets.
Yeah, we got a couple tweets
asking for a full recap of what has happened so far. Bring us up to speed before
you move on to episode 6, which I'm going to tell you was a dynamo fact blast.
Dynamo in the rough.
In the rough. And it was a whirly-girly of info I wasn't expecting. I'm just flabbergasted.
You know what I'm glad about episode, and I know we're doing a recap, but I'm
just
going to say one thing quickly.
Okay, but
what I like about episode
spoilers
is I know where we're going.
Oh, no doubt.
In a way that I didn't think Zag was ever going to give me.
They've been so vague and unclear up to now.
And then all of a sudden it's like, it's all been pointing.
Here's your Google map, and here's how you're getting there.
Here's MapQuest.
Well, not MapQuest, Google Map. It's really the better one to go. Do not do Apple Maps.
Google's.
All right.
Do I get to be on now?
Okay. Oh,
we heard
cat's out of the bag.
Voice.
Cat's
my turn.
Out of the
Munchausen's
bag.
cat is out of the bag.
Out of the bag. Was she there? Was she not there?
I'm here.
Shocking surprise for our many, many fans. We have our biggest commenter on Twitter, Facebook, and Poochie.
Far and away.
All three.
Biggest
Far
fan.
and away.
Biggest fan. Well,
Biggest commenter.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be clear. Biggest commenter.
Biggest commenter.
The fan thing, I don't know. Those are fighting words.
Those are fighting words, especially me and Johnny, since he started. Johnny started his own thing, but that's okay.
Well, it's not my own thing.
Well,
it's just
it really
a
is
side.
kind of. It's
what it is.
It's offensive, and whatever. But we're going to do a major recap up to episode 5, and we brought our favorite.
I just want to say,
give us your name first,
Sure,
so they know who's talking.
McCarthy,
and I love that first name.
It's just McCarthy,
right? Oh, it's like Cher.
Well, it used to be. Well, we don't have to talk about it.
Well, it used to be Mackenzie.
Yeah, but
I don't know if
McCarthy.
it's too ethnic. I don't. So, basically,
Should we,
guys,
as an introduction,
I want to just introductorily say this.
Yeah.
I am Jag's biggest fan.
It's Zag.
I know.
What did you say?
She said Jag.
I said I'm Zag's best fan.
She said Jag, which is a different show. That's about junior attorney gold.
2 great shows
in the military.
2 great shows.
Okay.
But
I misheard you. That's what happened. So, yes, as an introduction, I was wondering, Johnny, do you want to read some of McCarthy's
comments?
Kind of our favorite comments.
Sure, our sort of top 10.
Top
if
10.
we were, if we were Jimmy Letterman,
right?
Our top 10. Well, we don't have to do 10.
No, but just do like 1 or 2. You do your favorite. I'll do my favorite.
I got a Facebook message, so this wasn't
from
a
McCarthy.
public post.
But
I got
direct
a Facebook direct message from McCarthy.
Don't embarrass McCarthy now.
No. She's the best.
You don't want to be saying.
She's the best fan, and she wrote to me, hey, triple, which already I'm excited. I'm in. Right.
Because of our tag zag with the 3 Gs.
I love the pep. So, hey, can't stop listening. I think I'm crazy for this show. Can't stop listening. It's on repeat.
I love that. That gets us more pennies.
On repeat on my CD player.
Every time you... It's on a CD player?
Did you burn a CD of our podcast?
Of course.
Oh, that doesn't help.
That actually doesn't
help us with
listens.
My
We're
brother
flattered.
He's one of those guys
who makes a
very
mix.
savvy with the electronics.
He's the Jeeves of your household.
Basically. No, he handed these things to me, like a whole stack, and was like, check this out.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm going to read to you, Johnny, my favorite, and I'm not cheating, but it's my favorite, I'm going to call it a thread, because it's 3 Poochies.
Yeah.
And Poochie's got such a great format. And I was excited that you got a Poochie account. Such limitations, so you really have to be succinct.
I think limitation has
It's
a negative
good,
connotation.
but it's good.
I would call it a concisioner.
Yeah, it's definitely a concisioner.
To make it concise, you know.
Concisitor. And
Concisitor, that's
right.
the word.
And with just 14 characters, not Twitter's 140 or now 280, or Facebook's please say as much as you want, Poochie really reigns supreme in the 14 character or less.
You got to
area.
really
You
put
gotta
some thought
think
into
about
it. Yeah.
So I'm not going to embarrass you, I hope, by saying, and I'm
I'm
going to
proud
read
of the things
that you've
on
pooched. So the 3 pooches I'm
And
going to
it's
read.
pronounced Poochie. It's
Poochie. Well, we call them pooches.
Chi, C-H-I.
Right, Poochie. But we call them the post pooches. It's just fun for us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's just a fun thing.
It's a
Yeah,
fun
it's not
thing.
accurate. Right.
It's not accurate. It's
Well,
just
no, it's accurate. I mean,
It's
because
both
it's our name.
accurate
Okay.
and fun.
P-U-C-H-I.
Poochi. Poochie. So the
Two O's. It's
Two
not a
separate
U.
words.
Oh,
P-U-C-H-I.
I don't know what-
Poochie. With the
Okay.
enunciation in the chi.
You need to talk to your brother, who's tech
He gave-
savvy, to get him to
You
tell
need
you.
to ask Jeeves.
Yeah, that's a good one. So the first post was on a Monday, as you know, limited to 1 post per day. Monday was, "Hi, McCarthy," and that was your 14 characters. So the second post was on Tuesday, which completes the here.
Oh, McCarthy here.
Yeah. Big fa, and that's your character limit. And then the next post cleared it all up. N, fan, big fan.
Big fan.
Big
See?
fan.
I love this.
Johnny
Poochie.
Suh. SU. And I guess we'll have to wait for the next one.
Johnny
To find
Suh.
Johnny Suh.
Great.
SU.
Such a great.
Such a great. Oh, is that what it is? Such a
Johnny.
great.
I think
Such a
I think
great-
that's what it was. I think, didn't you get the rest? You didn't get the rest?
I don't think so. Let me check Poochie. Oh,
Such
okay.
a
Here we got
great
it.
commentator
Sucks.
on your show.
Sucks. Sucks.
No, that was from a different one. You must have skipped one because it was one that was like K's is my
Definitely
favorite
says
letter.
Sucks.
K's is my favorite letter.
Anyway, neither here nor there. We are so excited to have you here because we thought we'll just do a recap. And then we thought that could be boring because Johnny's dull. And then I thought, bring in a big guest, our biggest fan, to help us.
What
just
did you think?
clarify.
What were you thinking about
I thought,
the fan?
bring in the biggest fan.
I thought there was... Okay.
Something I don't know.
I agree. It's helpful
To have someone else.
to bring someone in
Yeah.
so that I can ask my hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
I can direct the conversation with ease.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start episode 1. What was your first thought,
Like,
McCarthy?
wow, my first thought was like, why are they even attempting this? Why is this even like?
Because it's so big.
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought. I thought, oh my god,
The show.
SAG is so
Zag.
huge.
It's Z.
It's a
Do you have a
hard
lisp?
Z.
No.
I mean, it's nothing wrong if you
I don't
do.
know.
I'm not going to.
I
I'm
think-
going to respect
is
it.
there something wrong with
I gotta
your
sound
ears?
it.
It's Zag.
I know.
Okay.
I said Zag.
All right. So
Zag is amazing. I was thinking
Right.
while I was listening to the first episode.
Right.
Didn't I say that?
you mean you watched the first episode?
I didn't. Yes.
Watched it on TV.
On the DVD.
They
You have it on
not,
DVD?
Well, they have not come out on DVDs, to my knowledge.
Do you-
Maybe
Do
I
you
was-
have a DVD? Okay.
You know what? My brother. You know what he probably did? He probably put on a different show with it. Like he was probably watching something, and I thought
DVD'd it.
that the thing I was watching was Zag. But what I saw,
was Zag.
no, what I was listening, because
To Zag.
it's something you're listening, because we all know it's something I was listening. We were listening to, right? Called the radio show, Zag.
Well,
'Cause
I'm not sure if you're clear. We
I
have
am
a
clear.
podcast all
I am
about
your
Zag
biggest
because
fan.
we're Zag nuts.
I am your biggest fan.
Are you a Zag nut?
Yes.
Okay. So you've seen all the episodes.
It's just you keep asking me these weird questions like, did I
Well,
see it on TV? Of course
of course
not. I
you
was
saw it.
watching my brother's show that he was watching while I was listening
So
to...
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit rewind for a moment.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask you trademark Johnny hard hitting question.
Okay.
I
He's
give
good
you the
at this.
Q's, you give me the A's, and I
Yeah.
want you to be honest.
Q's
Okay.
means questions. A
Have you
means
ever
asses.
seen Zag the TV show on television?
Thought I did for a minute there because my brother tricked me
Okay.
but I was listening to it, and you know how sometimes, like, remember that thing when you would watch Pink Floyd, listen to Pink Floyd while watching The Wizard of Oz? Remember that? And like, wow, it's connected. How those two things are connected.
Can I ask what
'Cause that's
show
what it
your
was.
brother had on?
I thought I was watching
Zag.
Zag.
So
you
what I'm going
I
to
thought-
say is what a great guest that Jane decided to bring on today.
You know, Johnny, this isn't on me.
This is not on
We
me.
agreed
You guys,
she
I was
was the
listening
top
to it. I can all right,
poster.
right now I'll tell you. David. Let's see.
Now that's a cheat sheet.
No.
That's a,
Dave is
cheat sheet.
dead. Big Dave is dead. I remember when that happened.
Okay.
He died from some big event catastrophe that happened.
What do you think happened?
That created the world.
no, that's how Zag
And then
starts.
we were in China. Thank you very much.
Well,
It does sound
are we
she-
in China?
Are we? Really?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Or is
you know
there-
what? We're going to do the
okay.
recap. And anytime you think you know
Oh, you
something
guys
that
are-
happened, just
wow,
chime
I
in.
didn't know that you guys would be so mean.
We're
to
not
your
mean.
biggest fan.
We're not mean. We're just questioning whether or
but
not
then
you're a
what
fan
do
of
you?
Zag.
I'm going to give you a Q. You give me a.
A.
You give me. Oh, right. You
An
give
answer.
me. Yes.
A is for answer.
What do you like about our podcast?
That it's so hard hitting,
That's true.
right?
It is really hard.
That's sort of my trademark.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What I like is like Johnny is so hard hitting, and that Jane
yeah.
came up with all this whole idea and like having the studio and everything. Like
Yeah.
you guys, wow! Like I'm your biggest fan, not just of Zag, but just of this place. Like wow, you guys,
The studio, yeah.
I'm so impressed with your work. That's why I want to be here with you.
Yeah.
answering these questions.
Right.
Can I have this?
No, but I am going to ask you follow up. I don't have hard hitting questions, but I do have
That's sort of
factual
my trademark. So
questions. Trademark factual.
Is there a piece of
No, there you go. There's a piece of paper. Would you say, McCarthy, that the lesbian-seeming couple adhere or do not adhere to the rules?
bum 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 bum.
as
Bum, bum, bum,
Wait a minute. Which
bum,
one?
bum.
There's more than one there.
One,
There's more than one.
lesbian?
In the
There's a couple. There's two.
in the house
Bum, bum,
in a town.
bum,
There's
bum.
more than one.
The
lesbian.
town, she says.
In the town.
We
there's more
prefer
than-
You know,
the.
I'm
if
sorry.
if
Why do you assume that there's only one lesbian couple? How do you know? Excuse me, you guys.
It's an enclave.
Listen, if I wanted to read uninformed messages, I'd go to the Zag message boards.
You don't post there, do you? Please tell me no.
Are you kidding?
Okay, good.
All right. So all I'm saying is, we can't assume. So you got kind of got to tell me.
Okay,
Which
is-
lesbian couple are you talking
boy.
The
about?
ones in the mind meld.
Oh, those guys?
Yeah.
Those guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, lesbians are 99% women.
I guess
Might
I
be
should
90.
know. I guess I should know. Hint, hint.
What are you getting at?
Ladies.
What are you saying?
There's only one lady here.
Yeah, Johnny's not a lady. As curvy as he is not a lady.
He's not.
No. The beard should be big.
Okay, so just saying. I'm not going to like exactly say it, but I think I should know.
Well, you don't know
You are
because
tip-
But I
Don't
do
know.
know because they're in the enclave. Duh. And they said, what was the question again?
do you think they're adhering to
The rules.
Do I think they are, or I know they are?
Oh boy.
Either one.
No, of
At
course
this point,
they are.
either one.
Of course they are.
You think so? Let's go over
Well,
the
that
rules.
depends on how you define the rules.
Oh my God. How could you define the rules? They are
only one-
plastered.
Am I right?
No.
No.
They are plastered as you enter the enclave.
McCarthy.
All right, let's go over the rules.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'm going to name some rules. You tell me whether or not it's a rule.
Ooh.
All I have to do is say yes or no.
Yes or...
Yes, it's a rule, or no, it's a rule.
No, it is
rule.
not a rule. Okay.
You just say yes or no.
What are you muttering?
Okay.
Nothing.
Rule. Is this a rule or not a rule? Don't ever touch the rats.
Never.
McCarthy, I'm going to call BS. I don't think you know whether or
Wait,
not
don't
that's a
ever
rule.
touch a rat? Of course not. You don't touch a rat.
Is that a rule or not a rule?
I wouldn't touch a rat.
Okay.
God.
So you're saying that's a rule.
My rule.
Correct. That is a rule.
Ding,
she was right.
ding. All right.
All
So
right.
far, so good.
Number 2, don't touch the cats.
I'm not.
Did you?
The answer is yes.
That's a rule? Incorrect. That is not a rule.
Ah, see?
Number 2, no sex. Is that a rule?
For me, no sex, of course it's a rule in Jag land.
Zag, and it is a rule. Good. Ding.
Here's a rule. Is this a rule? Watch the best TV show of the decade. You must.
Yes. Yes.
No, that
That's
is not a rule.
rule.
It's not a rule. All right.
It's my rule.
Is this a rule? Inside voices only.
Can I phone a friend?
Sure.
Where's your phone?
You can't use my phone.
This is sort of a trick question too. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to call up my friend. Okay, hold on for a sec.
Johnny, I got to tell you, I don't think she's ever seen the show.
No, that much is evident.
Abundantly clear.
Evident.
Cassie?
I
What
forgot
is...
to turn her microphone off.
Can you ask the question
Get
again?
to turn her microphone off.
Can you... What's the question again?
Is a rule of the enclave inside voices only?
Is the rule of the enclave inside voices only?
What's the enclave?
Jesus Christ. Don't you watch that stupid show?
Okay.
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 What?
Enough.
You are a fraud, madam.
But I am your biggest fan.
You're
I
not a big.
find that
I don't
hard
know
to
what
believe.
you are a fan of, but it's certainly not Zag.
This whole recap.
Wait a minute.
The
This
whole
recap has gotten.
Wait a minute. This is not Jag. I thought this was Jag.
No, Jag is the military.
That is also a great show that you should watch.
It's
Which
a good
I
show.
have watched. I thought that's what we were here for.
So you want to talk about Jag?
Guys, I think there was a typo in the email you sent me. I've been talking about Jag this whole time.
So you've never watched Zag?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that one, it's not about...
All right. So you know what? Hold on a second.
Maybe
Johnny
I
and I are
should,
going to
though.
regroup. Okay.
Guys, maybe I
Can you
should.
hold on? What if we do the recap and try to convince her to watch the show?
It's almost like, here's the thing. It's almost like, here's what I'm trying to say. What it's almost like, honestly,
Right.
what it's almost like is that I don't want these people watching
watch it.
Zag because it's wasted on them.
Okay, but Johnny, let's
The
just
craft
okay,
and the artistry.
Bottom line.
But I didn't
If
know.
we can pull them in, the show will stay on the air. It needs
Yeah.
more fans.
That's
It's got
true. It does need
billions
more
of
fans.
fans,
I'm not
and our
that dumb.
podcast
It's just that I
only
thought
has
it was a different show.
our
My
podcast
brother-
only has 1 million fans, so we could use more. How many more fans can you bring to this podcast if we convince you?
So many more.
Like
So
5, 10,
many
what?
more.
Name 5.
Name 5.
Cassie.
Cassie,
Clearly.
who clearly did not watch the show. Go ahead.
My friend.
She's only got 1.
Can I phone? Can't.
No, you don't.
can't
Can't look at your phone to find out who your
All right,
friends
so-
are.
I have a friend named Blue that would do it.
I doubt that.
And I have
That
a
does
friend.
sound like a lie.
That sounds like
Oh,
a
I
fake
do have a
name.
friend
From a
Blue.
known, admitted liar.
Liar. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Have
I mean,
you
do you have
no
something against
decency?
somebody with color names? Because I was going to say I have a friend named
Burgundy?
Shadow.
Shadow is not a color.
I think
Named
there's a
Bucket.
Crayola. I think there is a Crayola
I have a friend
color
Shadow?
called
I have
Shadow.
a friend
Might
named
be.
Bucket too. Because
Okay.
Bucket?
What? Where are you
I think
from?
it's Bucket or it's
Do you live in Pittsville? No.
Okay.
All right, that makes
This
sense.
is-
Do I
This
have
is-
to? Did I have to?
No, you did not have to live in Pittsville, and I'm glad we're putting you up at Pittsville's finest, Gas and Guzzle, and Stay Over.
Oh, I thought it was Gas and Puzzle. They give puzzles, you know.
They give puzzles at the stayover.
Only if you
Right,
stay
and
over.
I stayed over and I got a puzzle.
Did you get a guzzle?
I didn't think there was guzzle. I thought it
Oh,
was
did you get
puzzle.
any gas?
No, the
It's a
first
banana
letter,
guzzle
The
this
first
week.
letter thing.
It's
banana
a
guzzle.
banana guzzle.
Okay. So, all right, we're going to regroup, and we're just going to do our recap and hope that that will pull you in.
Okay.
To be
But
a fan
please
of the
just
show.
And you guys
listen.
could try to not be mean to your guests.
Listen,
And then maybe people would
I
want
gotta tell
to come
you
see
that
this
I
show.
feel like you're hearing false
Maybe some people would want to watch your
and I'm-
silly program.
Okay,
All right.
so now
it's
what's
hurtful?
happening is it's coming
It's
at
hurtful?
us.
Well,
Now
it's
you're
hurtful?
coming at us.
I'm defending myself.
Well, why do you
This is
need
what
to
happens when
defend
you
yourself?
corner a rat.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
You're going to
Okay.
be a Zagnut by the end of this podcast.
All right.
Or a zag rat.
All right. I'm going to fade
Well, that's
into
where
the
she
background
started.
now.
Don't
And
fade.
listen.
Don't fade. Just chime in whenever you feel there's some. You have a question.
All right.
Okay.
You
Very tribe. No.
Why can't? I was being the bird.
No.
sounded
Stop.
again like
I
a
was being
rat.
the tiki bird.
All right. So we're just going to start from the top. Johnny, what's the first thing we see? Zag opens. What do we see?
Well, we see. I wanted to say rules, but I knew it was wrong because there was something before.
It's well, we're
Based
seeing
on
we're seeing the rules through Bobby and Dave's POV. And if you don't
That's
know
right.
what that means in TV, that means person on video.
It's who you see
On video.
being videoed.
Okay.
And let's go over
and
the
that's when
rules.
we find out about the
The-
sex and the rats.
And there's more.
I
Okay?
wouldn't put those.
They're not connected.
Those are Well,
No, we're not sure.
I know.
We do have questions. So the rules, they hit us. They're big on the board, and they're hand carved in there with looks like primitive tools. So we get a feel that we're in
maybe a chisel.
a chisel, perhaps
You don't know.
we don't know as the show
It's a
begins.
mystery.
Don't ever touch the rats.
No sex. Rule number two.
Inside voices.
That's what I
Only.
thought.
Only. Don't forget the only.
Right.
Gasoline isn't free. Big one.
And then there's one right under it. Kerosene isn't free.
And the last rule, rule number 6, all rules are final.
Whoa.
How's that hit you?
Are there any extra rules?
No, it was.
There's no extra
6.
rules. There's the rules.
There were 6 rules.
It's exactly the size of the sign.
6. There's no room for more.
But there's no further rules in the program, in the show.
Well,
TV
look,
show.
you know, we're episode 1, okay? So hold on to your hiney, as we like to say on,
Grab
on the
onto
podcast.
your butt.
Hold on to your butts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Okay.
So we meet Bobby, who is youngish. We meet the janitor, which we find out very quickly. You know,
Okay.
no, but when you think of a janitor, and I'm thinking like if you were an elitist person, McCarthy, a janitor would be where on the hierarchy?
Middle class.
Right. Middle lower. Right? Wrong. Nice judgment.
Wrong.
Nice prejudging.
That's your
I
prejudice.
don't
That's your problem,
I
not
don't judge
ours.
that.
Because guess what? The janitor is the leader and he was elected to lead. We find that out. First episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, how about you put that in your?
So already we've established
Put that in
a
your,
society,
whatever the.
a bonnet. In my bonnet?
Put that in your bonnet. I think that's what it is. Put that
What
in
are
your
you guys
bonnet.
talking
Put
about?
it
She
on.
has
Do
no
something with it.
bonnet.
Like you have to do something with it after
What
it's
is
in your
it?
bonnet.
It's put that
Take
in
up
your bonnet
and smoke it.
Suck on it.
We'll get there.
Okay, so Big Dave, we meet Big Dave, who is not the janitor. A lot of people are confused and they think they're the same. Big Dave is
Do they look alike? Why do they?
No, they're just both very kind of bulky.
Do they
Yeah.
wear? Do they wear jumpsuits?
No.
Okay.
Why would? Because they're janitors? No, it's not that kind of
Again,
janitor.
it's like-
the word
Am I
means
judging?
something
I'm
different. You are
prejudging.
judging. We're judging. But let me just tell you something about Big Dave. Right quickly into the episode, we go to a funeral, which is in the future.
This means there's been a death.
That is correct.
We'll
A
give you
death.
that one begrudgingly.
Yeah. And as you know, the janitor, this might hit you hard, shows up for Big Dave's funeral in ceremonial garb,
Yeah.
which is a rusty steel kilt.
Steel, I don't. Guys,
Steel kilt.
Steel cannot rust.
It is a metal.
Excuse me.
Newsflash.
Do you know anything
The whole
about?
point of stainless steel is that it doesn't rust.
Did we say stainless steel?
No one said stainless. You're reading into it. Okay.
Okay.
That's sad.
And you're reading
Fair.
into it in a weird way.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know that we are in some sort of a post-apocalyptic world.
Well,
Or
yeah.
not.
We're
or
assuming.
not.
We're assuming.
Yep. We find out that the skiffies that are being referred to all the time are actually the Chinese guards.
racist.
No, they're Chinese guards.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not. It's not a bad thing.
It's
like
who they are. I think that was racist.
But are the
you're
only
saying.
things that are Asian guards in this society?
We don't know if the society is racist, McCarthy.
Just saying,
We are
just
telling
saying.
you what we saw.
that's what you need to. What you need to
That's
do.
a take home.
What you need to do for a second is just let your mouth.
Rest.
That's what I would say. I was going to say it a different way, but
Yeah. If there was
Just
some
listen.
crazy glue here, I would know where to apply it. Lower lip, upper lip, boom, done. But let's just continue. We think we're in a post-apocalyptic world. Bobby has a medallion. Tell me more about the medallion, Johnny.
the medallion is it's intricate.
Is it made
And
out of
it's-
a metallic substance?
Maybe stainless steel. Would that make you happy?
It's called a medallion. It
It's
has
a
the word
medallion,
medal.
metal in it. And
Metal.
it is very
Medal.
similar. It is not identical, but it is similar to the medallions the Skiffies wear. So there's a connection
Oh, I
there. We
didn't
do.
know the Skiffies wore.
I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't say it yet.
Are Skiffies animals?
No, Skiffies are the Chinese
racist.
guards.
Oh,
the
That's
Chinese
racist.
guards.
My
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That's on the radio that you just called the Chinese animals.
I didn't. I was
I am sickened
confused.
by what you said.
I was confused for a minute. I forgot earlier that you
Let me
said.
be clear to our listeners that Jane and I disavow.
I'd like to apologize to everybody that thought that I thought that Skiffies were animals.
It's not a real apology if you're apologizing to the people who thought you thought something.
How do I get out of this?
You don't. You live with it, and you live with the consequences of it. What you're doing is here's what you're doing. You're having an assumption, and that makes an ass out of
you
UMP.
But you guys, I'm
Remorseful?
no. I'm
No,
just saying,
she's
I'm
not remorseful. She
fighting-
stated that.
She is without
fighting
remorse.
the power. I'm
All right, let's move on.
okay.
So she really dug a hole there.
I don't think she's
looking
in it.
I was just looking out for the people,
Let's talk about the trees,
Which
Johnny.
people?
Yeah.
all the people of
You.
the world.
Let's talk about the
Just making
trees.
sure
Let's
that
talk about the
these-
trees. What did you notice about
Oh,
the
what
trees?
did you notice about the trees, McCarthy?
I didn't think I was getting interrogated. I thought you guys were informing me now.
All right, fine, because it would have been a good interrogation question.
Okay.
There's
The
a lot of
trees.
damage
There's
in the
damage to the
area to the
trees.
trees.
But
Because of
in
a
a
hurricane.
specific no, because just hold on. So what we see in the surrounding areas is there's
Because of it.
branches and foliage at the top of trees.
Debris.
And I wouldn't call
Well,
it-
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
And then there's about 15 solid feet, maybe even 20 of complete charred damage to the trees. And then there's an additional 10 feet at the bottom, trunk, full again. So we get the feeling that whatever happened in this post-apocalyptic world happened probably about 10 years worth of tree growth like in the past. And it probably lasted, the damage lasted about 15 years. But before that, it was fine.
That's a little bit of anthropological research you did there. Was that you, or
I looked it up.
You
I
looked
looked it up. I looked it up to see what could cause that kind of damage to trees.
See, this is the kind of insight and dedication that you're getting
From
the Zag
the Zag
podcast.
cast, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
And you're not getting it from our only
This is
rival.
This is the one, maybe little step that you've made
Helping you with.
that's convincing me that maybe I
You should watch this.
see the show and not.
Here's something that I think will really make you want to tune in. At the beginning of the first episode, the population is 20,706.
9.
At the end, after the funeral, population goes up by 1, not down.
That is because it is the viewer that counts. You're in Zag.
No, it's
Okay.
No,
not.
we aren't sure what it means. We're
It's the
wondering if
viewer.
it's-
You guys,
we're
I
wondering.
guarantee you're going to find out later. It's because they're trying to
We've
say
seen all the
that
episodes.
the
That's not
viewer-
what it is.
Well, it's really obvious. If
Okay.
you've seen any sci-fi, anything,
Yeah, I would
you'll
not call this
understand.
sci-fi.
It's,
Sci-fi.
I'm
I'm just
Interesting.
so
saying,
derivative.
it's a sci-fi technique or something. that
Oh
they
yeah, this
do.
is from someone who I'm going to
Who
listen
wants to
to
watch Jag?
Jag.
The biggest sci-fi show of them all.
Jag.
Lawyers in the Navy. Woo!
Oh, we're in space. No, it's the Navy.
Yeah.
Earth.
No, you clearly have not watched Jag. And
Okay,
maybe
you want to
guys
get into a
should
Jag
open your
off with
minds.
me?
You should maybe check it out before you judge.
You want to Jag off?
If you guys want me to, and those references are not lost on me, and I hope, Jane, that you're paying attention to these
To what?
insinuations.
I think he was just playing with you.
You're defending him now. I guess
Well,
that's what
he's
I-
my
that's the
colleague.
role-
We've been working
that's
together
Defending me
for
from what?
years.
That's the role I'm playing.
You
and
think you know Jag?
I guess that's.
I think I know Jag. Let's
think
have-
you
He's,
don't
he's
know.
just
I don't
asking you
think
if
he
you want to have a
knows
Jag off. Like,
Yes.
who knows the most?
Who knows the most
What
about
is-
Jag?
He's telling me something about sex is what he's doing.
What?
In what world?
I can.
In what world? Good question.
Okay, you know what? Your mind is in the gutter and it needs to get out because Johnny is completely committed to Judith, even though Judith violently stabbed him in the back. That's dedication. So if you think he's implying something, I mean, and
Thank
you
you.
have hinted around that maybe you
Thank
are
you,
anamorphic.
I am not anamorphic, and I am not interested. And maybe he better have a chat with Judith.
I think
If this
Judith
is what
Judith
he's-
listens to the
if he's
podcast, so I'm
wanting
sure
to-
there's no problem.
Yeah, I don't think Judith is
What
is
would
the problem
why
here.
would Judith have a
Judith,
problem
give me a
with
call.
him
We'll talk.
and you, with him wanting to have a contest between the two of you
As
to
Jag
see who knows
fans.
the most about Jag?
Why would you
Where
care?
are you going?
It just,
like,
I felt.
Oh,
well,
I
that's
felt.
you know what you felt.
I
Whatever.
felt.
Okay, I guess whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This from the woman who can't even deign to apologize to
She
the
said
whole
she has no
entire
remorse.
Skiffy community.
I did apologize to the Skiffies.
Here's a whole new category, Johnny. We should cover
Yeah.
shit that goes down,
Oh man, right out of the gate.
right? Stuff that happens.
First episode.
First
Shit that goes
episode.
down?
Yes, episode 1.
We've told you that we're covering episode 1 to draw you
Jesus,
in.
How many episodes are there?
Shit that goes down. Johnny hit us.
Well, what's the big one that I should? I mean, we zoom out during the funeral procession and we see that we are in China.
We are in China. All right, great. So when Big Dave dies, they refer to his next step as Johnny
Ascending.
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 Yeah,
You don't get to do it
you
in a
don't know
voice.
how to do that yet. At the funeral, all are asked to use a special herb called Johnny.
Why are you giving them all to me? You get some fun ones.
All right.
I mean, I can tell you.
Chania. They're all used.
Chania.
It's not that way.
It's not
It's
like
a
that.
different way that you say it. And what you're doing is you're confusing people.
And you're hurting us. All right, Johnny, you hit the next one.
Okay. Oh, the afterlife. We might call it heaven. We might call it hell. We might call it, the afterlife. What do they call it, Jane?
The dual place. Dual.
As in dualistic?
We're not
Potentially.
sure.
Dual or dowel?
DOOL.
Those are very different. The way they're pronouncing it is dual.
D-U-E-L. D-U-E-L.
Well, they're not spelling it. It could be dual. It could be dual. It could be a made-up word, dual.
Yeah, we think it's dual. D-O-O.
We think it's dual.
As in both.
Drool.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's
And then at the
negative.
school, there's a protest. What do we see at the protest, Jane?
Well, there are many marchers, and they have a sign that says,
How do we pronounce this? I would say il polio.
"Oh, polio."
Il.
And
Il.
When you look at it, you feel like they're saying police. They're protesting the police, but we don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's not.
We don't know.
Yeah. Also, we made a lot of production notes that maybe these things would occur to you when watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next time you see it.
Most of the actors are Canadian, we found out. It's a fun
The
fact.
vast majority.
Vast majority.
Not 100%.
Wait, the actors are?
Yeah. We also found out a little fun tidbit
This is
that
interesting. Yeah.
went out in LA. If you're ever out in LA, I was there once on a ski trip, and a bus will come around, and people will say, "Hey, do you want to go to see a taping of The Tonight Show or this or that?" And apparently what happened was the directors and producers of ZAG said, let's do it. But there was no filming to go watch.
Yeah.
So all these people are like, yeah, we're in. We don't know ZAG, but we'll go see it. So all these people got on the bus. All those people are actors in the show now. That's how they cast.
Do you think I could go do that?
If you could hang around the bus stops, which would probably be
That
typical.
sounds like right up your alley.
Well, that does not feel like an insult to me because if I end up being a movie star, I don't think that.
No, it's a TV
It's
show.
a TV show. You can't be a movie star on TV.
But good luck.
Could be a podcast star.
Oh, just because
It's your
it's
first
so
podcast.
easy,
It's
isn't
so
it?
easy, right?
Yeah.
good luck.
Look at here I am.
Well, all right.
you're
Going on to our
interested.
next production note.
Riding
Bobby
our
is played
coattails.
by Ralph
text me.
Simcax. Recognize the name?
Text me.
Do you recognize the name Ralph Sincax?
Do you know the name?
syntax? I know what
Syntax.
syntax are. They are words.
Sincax.
Huh?
He's 41. Bobby, the actor who plays him, is 41, but he looks very, very young. And
Like Dick Clark.
well, he's dead.
But
Does not look young.
he used to.
Not when he's
Well,
dead.
everyone used to look young when they
When
were
he was
young.
older. When he was older, he used to look young.
I can't follow this.
Well, because you're not old enough.
Let me just review.
had to be there.
Syncax, 41, plays a young, appealing Bobby. He was previously off Broadway.
Which means he was in New Hampshire.
He was a star
Well,
in the
He did a good
80s
tour
with good. He's
in New
good pal,
Hampshire.
the showrunner, Lyndon Dindikoff.
Oh, Lyndon
Dindikoff,
Lyndon Dindikoff?
right? The showrunner
in the 80s.
in the 80s. He was good friends with him, but the friendship seemed to have lasted. Carl Platt.
Carl Platt, I mean, that's a titan.
In
That's
relation
a titan
to,
in the
relation
industry.
to Chris Platt?
Not that I know of. Interesting question, though. There you go. Well worth having you on this show.
Because he's funny. They're both funny.
Well, Carl's
Carl
not
Platt
that funny.
is not
that
particularly
funny.
funny.
Very droll, from what I
Always
understand.
droll.
Yeah, he wrote the pilot and created the show, and he's friends with Ralph Syncax.
Ralph
There you go.
Syntax.
Yeah,
Sycorax.
Syncax.
Sincax.
Syncax.
Okay, syntax.
Franny is played by Christopher Lloyd's great granddaughter. Back to the Future,
That's
and
right.
yet,
and this show has a
in
little
the
time,
future,
has
because
a little
she's...
time travel because she's now
I bet my theory is that that's a coincidence.
right.
That it
Also-
has nothing to do with...
It's possible.
Back to the Future. I
It's
don't
possible.
think it's related.
I don't know. You never know with this crazy show.
Yep. The production company purchased a
Sometimes
large
you know.
amount of land
You know.
in Australia
This is true.
and made it look like China.
Who did?
The
Made it
production
The
company.
production company,
They
what
purchased
they did
a
a
huge
whole
amount.
landscaping project for a decade.
To make it look like China?
China, and they built
How do
an
they keep
exact.
up? How do they keep up? Because I know that China is growing fast. How do
Well, they
keep
don't
up?
make
It's a
it look,
landscape.
they make it look like the wilderness.
Wilderness
Of China?
And they built an exact replica of the China Wall.
And I actually think NASA
great.
is interested in what they did because a lot of the land they bought was in the outback.
Yeah.
And they were able to sort of
The dingo
bioengineer
ate my
it.
baby.
Right,
That's
the
where they
same
made that
place.
film.
NASA is interested in bioengineering.
Because they want to do the same thing on the moon or on Mars,
Mars,
or on
right.
Jupiter.
Right.
Pluto.
You
Right.
can't do it on Pluto. It's not a planet anymore. You can only do it on planets.
Interesting fun fact here: the lesbian seeming couple. We're not
Yeah, we
certain.
can't really
we're pretty
say for sure.
You know, they.
Let me look at them. I'll tell you.
What's she getting at?
Does she have gaydar?
Apparently, one is
not
a
a real
dead
thing.
ringer for a young
Yes, it is.
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah.
Jillian Gyllenhaal.
No, Gillian Anderson,
Anderson.
the one from X Files.
Oh yeah, I love
It's
her.
not the same actor. It's a young looking
Oh, it's
like a doppelganger.
Okay. Is it her
And-
daughter?
It's a double ganger.
It's
Is
a
it her
double.
daughter?
I get
Is
it.
it her daughter?
I don't know, possibly. And the other is played by Archie Umami.
I love that guy.
It's a woman.
It's a woman.
What's she doing with a guy's name?
It's Archie.
It's one of those names that's it's bisexual.
It's bisexual name.
Is it Archie?
No,
A-H? Chi? Chi?
No,
Archie,
listen
like
to what we're
bonkers.
saying.
Archie.
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 C-H-I.
Archie.
It could be short for Archie. Archie.
Architha.
Yeah, Big Dave is dead. That's the biggest thing from episode 1. that
You know,
when
here's the
we
thing.
when we
Here's the
find
thing.
Dave, it's going to be in the background.
I'm just going to say this one
You
more
never
time.
do see Big
We
Dave, though.
came into this podcast, and I'm looking at my watch, and I know what the fans want. It's time to move on. But I just want to say, we came in ready to do a full recap leading up to tonight's. Well, not
Episode.
tonight's.
Right.
I DVR'd it.
Right.
I put it in the TiVo so I can watch it tonight because I didn't get to catch it last night. And we were a little derailed today by our
Nice going, Jane.
guest.
Nice going, Jane.
No,
It wasn't me,
McCarthy.
McCarthy. It was you.
Who's that?
You.
McCarthy.
Get a mirror.
You have to. You came in. You lied to me.
Yeah, you lied a lot.
No.
Let me ask you, McCarthy, are you any closer to actually tuning into Zag?
Yes.
Then our job is done.
Then we have one more Zag.
And I just want to say,
Zag Apostle.
Zagnut.
Zag Apostle.
We are overtime. We are
We are,
overtime.
I know.
And we didn't even do our sponsors. We're going to have to record them separately, and I'll put them in.
Oh, it's such a random schedule, which
It
I
really
kind of
is.
like.
It's like every Tuesday, every other Thursday, and then
If
on
it's the
occasion a
third
Friday.
of the month,
then it's not
then
Thursday.
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well,
it was a real pleasure. I really appreciate you.
you know what? You could
coming
wait
and
till we
allowing-
thank our guests. That's
coming to my podcast.
Okay. Oh, you are batshit crazy. Let me tell you something. This is how the podcast works. We wrap it up and we thank our guests. Then you say whatever. You're welcome. Whatever you want to
But
say.
you wait your turn.
But you wait your turn. Okay. So this has been the Zagcast with Johnny
Johnny and
and
Jane.
Jane.
And McCarthy.
All right, let's try it again. This has been the Zagcast with Johnny and,
And
Jane, and
Jane.
we'd like to thank our guest.
Thank you
McCart-
very much. And thank you for coming, everybody.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm
We're-
done.
We're thanking you for being here. You're not thanking us.
You can't. She can't even.
She's just, you know what? We're done.
Oh my.
All right.
Just turn it off.
I'm gonna.